This is Pat Soundbytes Unplugged. Unplugged. The podcast where all the artists go to tell it as it is. Careers, music, tours, and more. And here's your host, the man that refuses to eat squid, Pat Calamari.
Well, hello, Pat Calamari here, host of Pat Soundbytes Unplugged. You people are simply amazing. Over 10,000, well, now 700 subscribers following Pat Soundbytes Unplugged podcast. Can't thank you enough. Boy, if that doesn't put a smile on my face. Thank you. And hopefully you also subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, on my IGTV with all the Zoom chats that are going on. I rebroadcast them on the podcast. So folks that don't want to see my ugly mug, you get to at least hear the content of the conversation. So thank you all for doing that. That is simply amazing, and I can't thank you, the fans, enough. Hopefully everyone is doing well and safe, and man, there's continue to be great new music being released left and right. Although there's no tours, or not many tours, or maybe just a handful of shows in different parts of the country, and now more of drive-in theater type shows using the stage of a drive-in theater or a more outdoor venue parking lot, whatever works. But new music continues to roll out. And episode number 90, imagine that, 90 episodes ready, is a doozy. An old-time bud that I interviewed a couple of years ago. They had an album out called Grind. And I just love this guy, and I love this band. Rick Ruhl, frontman, singer, songwriter of the band, out of Memphis, Tennessee, Every Mother's Nightmare. You remember them guys? I do. I remember them back in the late 80s with Walls Come Down, Love Can Make You Blind, House of Pain. And I want to say they appeared on MTV's Headbanger Ball. They've opened for bands like Dream Theater and Cheap Trick, if you believe that. I mean, the name kind of frightens you. You get this, like, what is this about? But it's all good. Real Southern rock with an edge. And they just are going to officially release their latest album, Resurrect the Faithful. And if this isn't their best album, I don't know what is. I fell in love with it the minute I listened to it a bunch of times. They have a single out called Breathe. Oh, thank you. Breathe. And it is a killer. They got a great video with over 160,000 views. You know, this is one of those bands, you know, I'm always a big fan of the underdog. You know, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, whether you're an indie artist or a national act like these guys, you know, they don't just get that swagger and maybe get on the top charts, but they break their ass, I will say that. And they do what they love to do, and this band is just, this record and this band is just insane. New drummer that brought a lot of energy into the band. They recorded in a brand new studio right in Memphis. They got new management that gave them the flexibility in the time. Thank you. Somebody texted me. Gave them the flexibility to do what they need to do. Hey, you got 3 months in the studio. There's no rush. And you get what you put into it. And they put into a lot of hard work. They had a great producer, great studio folks. Supernova Studios, or Supernova Sound Studios in Memphis. Dave and Matthew did a tremendous job with this band. Rick actually gets emotional. We start talking about some of the tracks. And if you know me, I'm a military guy. And there's one track called Here's to the Ones, which is also the title of the documentary that shows you the behind the scenes of these guys in the studio, which was done really well. And he gets choked up just talking about where he came up with this song, and it's a beautiful story, and certainly my heart goes always thinking to all the troops out there defending our country each and every day. So, and they're working on making some of the proceeds of the album or that track going to Wounded Warriors. So anybody that does any of that, I'm all in. I'm buying my own pocket, whatever, and I encourage everybody to do that. And if they aren't able to do that, well, please, by all means, support this wonderful artist, real cool guy, and this incredible band that I have a feeling you're going to hear more about. Every Mother's Nightmare, Rick Ruhl. I mean, just a terrific guy. Memphis, Resurrect the Faithful. Go out and check it out and buy it today. Okay, enough of me. Time to rock and roll. Don't forget, thank you again. Subscribe, follow, and all that good stuff. And as always, live, love, and laugh a lot, because life is way too short.
Hey, this is Rick Ruhl from Every Mother's Nightmare, and you're listening to Pat's Soundbytes Unplugged. Yeah!
WBXO Classic Rock redefined in conjunction with Pat's Soundbytes Unplugged. A happy day for me and a happy day for my rockin' buddy down in Memphis, Tennessee, frontman, singer, songwriter of Every Mother's Nightmare, my good man, Mr. Rick Ruhl. Rick, what's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? Just hanging out. What's up? What's up?
Holy crap! Rick Ruhl and the guys kicking ass and taking names. New album, Resurrect the Faithful. It looks like it comes out officially October 23rd. And my goodness, that track, Breathe, and some of the other tracks that I've been able to hear, you guys killed it, Rick. I can't be happy. I'm excited for you, dude.
Well, I thank you, man. We're really proud of it. We worked real hard on it, and it's a new world out there. We're going to come and see if we can take it by the neck.
Well, you have certainly taken it by the neck, and I don't know if a lot has to go with you guys just, reevaluating and looking at things and going at this Supernova Sound Studio and working with Bill at High Volt Music. I mean, all the puzzle pieces have been put together, and you guys have certainly taken advantage of it and done some excellent work. Man,
we really took our time. Everybody we're working with, all the way down from the guy that took the pictures on the new record, man, is just people I've met over the years that have become friends, and just people that are close. And man, it's just turned out good, man. It's real comfortable. The studio is the best studio I've ever seen in my life. So comfortable. So just real. I don't know what else to say, but I'm happy.
Yeah, no, I watched a documentary, Here's to the Ones, and I watched, the Q&A with you guys, and I've always wanted to do that. I'm going to do that. It's on my bucket list, is to go just be a fly on the wall and watch the magic happen.
Right up.
And that's pretty much a really good behind the scenes to see how you guys all put it together, and how I want to say Dave and Matthew really embraced arms with you guys and let you do what you needed to do. Because, you hear so many nightmares of, you're in the studio and it costing money, they rush, and, and it didn't seem like, it seemed like you guys were given the luxury and the time to really put the effort in, which really shows on the album.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Bill Chavis from the label, he called me after I went down to the studio. It just got built just right down the road from my house, and it was a friend of mine that I've been wanting to work with. And I went down there and looked at it, and I called Bill, and he called me like 2 or 3 days later, and he said, okay, you got 9 weeks in the studio, and I haven't had 9 weeks in the studio forever. Usually got, 5, got to get songs done in 2 of them and all that. So, yeah, man, it really helps just to be able to go in there and create and all that good stuff.
Resurrect the faithful. Well, if that's not a breath of fresh air and a new pulse and, you know, a new beginning, or however you want to look at it. And it's certainly, I mean, Grind was a great album, and I was always in love with Local Crazy and Wall Come Down and Love Can Make You Blind. I mean, but there, I said to Bill, this is a real breath of fresh air for them guys. And I said, I'm really happy for Rick and the guys.
Well, thank you. Thanks again, man. I love hearing that, because I was really scared when we were recording and writing, because just coming at it at a little different angle. But, you know, the Breathe song was probably the last thing we had written, and I was afraid to play it for Alan and Troy, so I snuck them in the studio one night and just showed them where I was going with it. And they're like, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's go. So, yeah, man, we just... you know, brand new. It's still, you know, Redneck Rick telling stories, but it's new. You know, it's just got a little bit of a more open feel. I think music today is a little more open with, you know, back in the day you had to do a ballad. You had to do this, to do this, to do this, to get on. And I think it's just a little more opened up now, and it's more open-minded for rock and roll.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Breathe, it resonates with what we're doing today. It fits well. It still has that EMN Southern rock edge. It's heavy, but it's melodic. And I mean, even the lyrics, when you're watching the video, you point to your arm. You know, we don't have a vaccine yet, but we still need to breathe.
We ain't got a vaccine for stupid, do we?
Right? I mean, but, you know, it so resonates. And then I don't know where I found it, but I love this line when you put all the tracks together in the album, and you wrote, I got to get away just so I can breathe, and here's to the ones, there's sin in my heart, and when it goes away, I must resurrect the faithful from the fray, and you'll be sorry today, but I am unstained, and I will never, ever be drowned by love. How cool is that, to put all the tracks? Holy crap, Rick.
That's the way I do my set list. Every one of our sets we play live is it's a little story. It's just bad things that's happened to me over the years. I just put them in order.
Well, I got to say, man, Johnny and Gunnar on the guitar, on Breathe, rip it. And I know you got a new drummer, Alan, and wow, I mean, this guy can play. What's he bring to the band these days?
What does Alan, the drummer, bring? Man, he brought... first of all, he jumped into the band at a point where we were on the road. We showed him like 300 songs, and then told him we were writing a record. And you know, he just smiled and said, "Bring it on." So, but he sings his butt off. He's a great drummer. He's big enough. If anybody mess with us, he'll whoop their ass. He's just a good guy, man. I lived right down the road from him. I moved to Memphis in '89. I've been living right down the road from him. Never run into the cat ever. And I was looking for a drummer, and this guy turned me on to him. And he's just awesome. He just fits with me and Troy and you know, Johnny and them. And he's just a brother, man, a long lost brother. We found him, brought him home.
Well, good for you. It sounds like he's a real good fit with Troy on the rhythm section. And
all they do is drink beer and play rhythm.
Well, hey, that's rock and roll, man. That's rock and roll. Talk to me about Here's to the Ones. I mean, I know it's, I believe it's a tribute to our military, and anybody that does a tribute to the military, to me. I mean, my dad was a Purple Heart recipient. My two brothers served, and that means a lot to me. So I thank you for that. Tell me why it's important for you guys to dedicate that song for those guys.
Well, I'm going to start out with my family. My mom's side of her family was all military, so I kind of grew up around that. But I tell you what really did it, man. We played a show last year on the Grind record. We were out, and we played a show down in Texas. And this guy stood in line, stood out in the sun, and hung out all day long. And makes me get teared up when I talk about this. But he came up on me, signed his leg. He had lost defending us, and him getting choked up now. he wanted me to sign his leg, and he lost defending us so we can be free and do what we do. And I just seen it in his face, and I've never looked at somebody that's really seen. He's seen the shit, He's seen the bad things, His name was Mike, and I just said, Mighty Mike, I can't see what old Mighty Mike is saying, And that's where it is. That's where he hit me. And I came home and I said, I'm writing a song for this guy because he stood there all day, hung out with us all night, the coolest guy in the world, signed his leg, and he was just like, man, he goes, I thank you for doing this. I'm like, dude, I thank you for what you're doing. You lost a lot more than I could ever even think about losing. So, I just think there's a lot of people that these guys come home from being over there and they've seen some bad stuff, and they come home and sometimes they get the raw end of the deal, So I was just, we're trying to donate all the money we make off of this song to the Wounded Warriors or something like that. Just cause, man, they deserve it, man. It's the small price we pay for freedom is blood, So that's it.
Well, God bless the mighty Mikes out there and our veterans and our military. And I hear you, dude. We take it for granted. I fly my flag every single day, and it drives me crazy to see where this country's at and the people. You don't want to live here, get in a plane and go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else and check it out. See how good you like it and see what you'll be missing at home, I promise.
Absolutely. I mean, freedom. To be able to do what we do and create a business and go to a live show and enjoy life without somebody telling us how to do it, what to do, and where the money's going and all that. So good for you, Rick, and good for the guys. You're right. These guys come back, and I got two brothers, and they got to see some, well, let's say some shit over there in different places, and plenty of friends of mine in Nam, and nobody talks about it. I mean, when my dad came back from World War II, we never brought it up. It's not. You see these people running around and talk about it, and you start to say, because the majority of the folks don't want to talk about it, and I get it. But good for you guys. I you know what? You're giving away to Wounded Warriors or any of that stuff, you let me know. I encourage everybody to go buy the bundle, buy the package, buy the album. There's a great bundle and package available through the record label High Volt Music or even emnrocks.com. It's all out there. It's really cool stuff. You rewrote, you remastered, I should say, Love Will Make You Blind. Why'd you throw that one back in there?
Well, I did it for when I got my first deal, I was and we played like 13 shows. We didn't really know what we were doing. One day we were sitting here in a truck with 4 guys running around playing any show we could find, and the next day we're in $1 million studio, and and basically I did it a little bit for me, and I did it for the fans. I just wanted a really good version. I wanted an update version. This band plays it. We played a little different. We did a couple little changes and brought it, modern it up just a shot. But basically, I just did it for the fans, and I had the time in the studio, and I asked the guys in the band if they cared. I asked the guys in the band if they cared if I did it, and they were real supportive of it. Now, it was kind of for a minute, it was kind of something that I didn't know if I wanted to do, and then when I got real close to it, it got real serious. But I didn't want to make it I wasn't trying to make a copy of it, and I wasn't trying to do anything else other than just play this band's rendition of it. This is the way it is live, the way we do it now, and this is the way that you're going to hear it. So here's the fans, here's the good version of. And how many times in this business do you get to go back and do a song, again or over or whatever? You got a lot of years to think about it and to think what you would do different. But I had the chance, so I just jumped on it and did it. And basically for the fans, though, I would say.
Well, good for you, man. And I hear you 100%. You get an opportunity, and if it's bothered you, and you said, you know what, we have the chance, let's do it, and why not? You know, you had the opportunity, and it's all about the fans, right? I mean, if it wasn't for the fans that enjoy the music and enjoy listening to us and playing and you know, we'd be still doing, you know, whatever, you know, trying to make it happen. I did see also about the song Getaway, kind of a transition from where you were to pretty much now, like, you know, cut the cord and here we go.
Right. That little song, that little song is like being on the last, it was Here for the Grind record, and I think before that it was in its infant stage, but it's just been one of those songs that we would play live sometimes, and it just always stuck around, and we've been playing it a lot this year, and I guess we've been playing it a lot since we recorded Grind, because it was like one of the songs that wasn't ready, and I don't know, it just came down to it. That's probably the very last song that I wrote with anybody outside of this group, so it was kind of like the transition. Here is the last of, you know, that type of writing, because we're bumping it up. We're going to bump it up and go to another gear here and see how fast we can take it.
Now, good for you, dude. And I posted Breed, the video, earlier today, telling everybody I was looking forward to our chat, and it had over 162,000 views, so hopefully it gets more. Boy, you know what? My last live concert was February 15th, and I'm sure as a musician, you're biting, man, to get back on that stage. Your thoughts on getting back on that stage in front of a live audience, Rick?
Oh, dude, yes, man. I got to do that about 3 weeks ago. I went to Kansas City and played with Ron Keel, and we had a great show. It was just a little laid-back little thing, and we went in, and it was beautiful, man. I miss it. That's what I do. So anyhow, all I'm doing is idling around looking for stuff to get into now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to get back out.
Excellent. I love Ron Keel, man. There's nobody better than the Metal Cowboy. I love that guy. He's a great guy. A lot of fun.
Man, cool, dude.
Well, the album is going to be out October 23rd. I encourage everybody to go out and get the track. Go to your streaming, wherever you buy. Please buy. Rick and the guys work very hard. Don't just download it, buy it. Go out and buy a package, get a t-shirt, get a poster, whatever is available. I know Rick had it online before that it's almost sold out, so you better make a move on it now. You can go to the website at emnrocks.com or their Facebook and Twitter at emnband. Rick, man, I am so happy. I can't wait for you guys to get back on the road and to come up, and I can't wait to start playing Breathe and get it on our rotation here in New York.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm going to come up and hug your neck when I see you again.
Well, I hope so. I hope we can have a nice cold one and laugh and get you guys back up here, man. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My man Rick Ruhl here at Every Mother's Nightmare on WBXO and Pat's Soundbytes Unplugged. It doesn't get any better than this.
That's right.